Konnichiwa, minasan. It's Gray from Makazashi's Tea House over in Japan. How you doing? Are you good? Are you Genki? Have you got your Spidey costume on? I know I have, because I'm reviewing the new issue of Amazing Spider-Man. It's issue 11. It came out Wednesday. It's priced $3.99 and it's still being written by Zeb Wells with some great art in this issue by John Romita Jr. Scott Hannah on inks there. What do you think of this cover first of all? It says, "The Return of the Hobgoblin," but which one? Okay, so the big question is this latest issue any good? Is it worth buying? Is it worth reading? Okay, let's see. Now, you know me, I'm pretty fair, and this issue was fine. Not terrible, not amazing, just fine. We still no idea what happened 6 months ago. It's getting more and more, isn't it? With Mary Jane, with Peter, why she's not speaking to him, why she mysteriously has 2 children now. She's not even in this issue. But we do get to see Betty. Is it Betty Brant from the past? And a return of Ned. Ned Leeds, what's going on? Also, we do get to see some Black Cat Felicia action too, which is nice to see. But yeah, as a story, kind of not a lot happens. A little bit boring, to be honest. I guess you could say it's setting things up, but don't you feel like it's been setting things up for the last 5 or 6 issues, apart from, taking weird detours all over the place? But yeah, anyway, let's have a look at some of the interior art, because I got to admit, I did like John Romita Jr.'s art in here. Now, look at this, for example, of really good panel work. Great comic book art panel work here. You've got very little dialogue, just a few sound effects. This is Betty hearing a crash and running to Winston, which is her son by the looks of things. But yeah, very good use of panel work. I do like that. But as I say, not a lot happens. It's not really exciting. We do get to see a Hobgoblin return, but we only get a very brief moment of that. Not much action, a lot of talking, a lot of explaining, and Norman Osborn not acting like Norman Osborn. Okay, so what I'll do as usual, I'll give my short story summary, show you some of the art, and then yeah, that's it really. Please keep watching. Issue 11 opens with a phone call. Peter's calling Betty, checking up on Ned. That's right, Ned, who was long thought dead, is back. Betty's got a baby called Winston, apparently named after Ned's grandfather. After she hangs up, she hears a sound, a crash, from the bedroom. Winston? She goes to check. Oh God! We see what looks like the Hobgoblin holding her baby. Betty lets out a scream. Then we switch scenes to Oscorp, where Peter's working with Kamala Khan. They're supposed to be testing an engine, but it's theoretical, they say. Norman Osborn starts to get angry. This is unacceptable. Then he gets interrupted. Norman seems annoyed by the interruption and quickly leaves his office. That was weird. He's been acting strange recently, says Peter. And then Peter says he's leaving early. What? It's 4 o'clock, says Kamala. Let's just say I'm moonlighting. Peter's changed into his Spidey costume and he's out with Felicia, Black Cat, out on the rooftops. I need to talk. He starts talking about us. She asks whether it's the just friends thing again. No, says Spidey. I'd like to ask you out first, for once. Really? So Peter, as Spidey, plucks up the courage to ask her out for dinner. Her answer? I'll think about it. Felicia? It's a maybe. Okay, a probably. And then she leaves. And then we got Peter acting like a teenager, like saying he's shaking, his whole body is jello. I thought I was going to throw up. Really? Peter's sneaking back to his apartment, still worried about the debt collections agent, who doesn't seem to be there. He walks in. Inside he hears a voice. Hello, Peter. It's Ned Leeds. Ned tells Peter he's been chasing a story, something to do with Osborn. He gets out some photos and shows Peter. Roderick Kingsley? We're then told by Ned that that's the Hobgoblin, the original Hobgoblin. The man who had me killed. Then we get a very dialogue-heavy page where Norman's explaining that in the past he kind of stole Roderick's empire from under him, and now Roderick wants it back. Peter's expecting violence, but Norman surprises him by saying, Actually, I've had my lawyers draw up the contracts. I'm going to return him everything he wants. Peter's worried that Kings is still dangerous and offers to go as backup with Norman. I won't take no for an answer, Norman. So Norman says, alright then, the meeting's happening at my warehouse in Red Hook on Thursday night. In fact, the meeting's actually set for Wednesday night. Norman turns up alone, as requested. He hands over the papers to Roderick, who seems surprised. He looks it over and it seems to be in good order. But then, there's a sound. You think I'm stupid? It's not me. I knew I couldn't trust you, Osborn. Then we get a great comic book page, really good use of the art and panels here. Kaboom! Explosion, something flying through. It's the Hobgoblin. Madness rides the night wind. Okay, and that's where I'm going to end the story summary. Well, there we go. That's it. That's the story. Okay, here's the cover, preview cover for next issue, which is going to be issue 12. That's right, already issue 12, but it's only 6 months if I've got this right, because they're bringing out 2 a month. We've got the Hobgoblin going up against Spidey in his weird goblin tech costume. Okay, I hope you enjoyed my review. Please leave me a comment, let me know what you think of this issue and what you think of the run so far. Are you as disappointed as a lot of people are? I'd love to hear from you, and I hope to see you in a future video. This is Gray from Wakizashi's Tea House, signing off for the night. Matane. Wakizashi's Tea House. Please subscribe.